say, God, give her as much peace of mind as possible, and really make it so that the trustee who administers it doesn't really have to, doesn't have to worry about whether it just doesn't make any difference whether she beats the S&P or not. And the main thing is that she feels that she's in a financial position, which of course she will be, that she doesn't even need to think about it, and the trustee doesn't have to worry about getting sued or anything else. So it's simply not an economic condition now, obviously, with 99% plus of what I have going to philanthropy, and I've got my 3 children. And the one good thing is that they've, at the age of 70, 69, and 65, they have matured remarkably, probably more than their father, and but at the same time, they've got less time to work with the money than they would if they were 50 or something like that. So you do the best in accomplishing your objectives in your will, and in the end, you can't. You don't know what's going to happen after you die, but you make sure that to the extent that you leave, you have a lot of money to leave. You take, obviously, you want to say thanks to a lot of people, and quite a few people in terms of specific requests. You want to take care of your family, but in my case, that requires practically no money, and a fair amount for taxes, but I have, and my children are in charge of what happens to the funds that are left. But like I say, the problem is when you live as long as I have, and kids get older, who knows what happens to the mortality tables, and they're the ones that I really want to see handle the distributions, and they will, and they'll be very good about it. And but if we're all alive 3 years from now, they'll be 3 years older, and so everything, you can't solve everything in life. You do the best you can with it, and people do interesting things. I've been around and probably as many rich people as almost anybody, and a fair number of them I know what they're doing or have done with their funds. And the idea that you can have a huge amount of money and leave everybody very rich and have people liking each other less when it all happens. Humans are really, they're interesting to watch. Some of them handle it beautifully, and others are terrible. The one thing lawyers will always tell you is don't use codicils. In other words, when you change your mind on a will, just write a new one, but tear up the old one. Don't do it by just adding codicils. But I believe I'm correct. Certainly read it, that Paul Getty, who was the richest man in the world, presumably, at one point in the 1950s or 60s, it's a very interesting guy to read about it. And he had five wives, and he's the one whose grandson was kidnapped, and they sent Paul Getty an ear of the child and everything. I mean, it's not a happy life when you get through it. But the one thing he did that was kind of interesting, he actually liked to use codicils.